What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Dyllan and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today we'll be taking a look at the Masterwork weapons and talking about why I personally feel like they make exotic, kinetic and energy weapons feel pointless. Now it does count for power weapons as well, but we're not really going to be talking about those, mainly just the kinetic and energy weapons. So, before we get into the main point of the video, I'll give you a quick breakdown of what Masterworks are. So Masterworks is basically an additional upgrade for a legendary weapon that you can have drop from doing an activity within Destiny 2, or you can upgrade the weapon yourself into a Masterworks with Masterwork calls. Masterwork weapons give you orb generation on multi-kills, and they allow you to track your kills for PvE or PvP. So it's pretty decent. The orb generation is also a really nice benefit, because supers generate very slowly in Destiny 2 as is, so being able to get supers more often is very nice. So with that being said, let's talk about exotics, mainly being kinetic and energy exotics, and why they now feel, in my opinion, more pointless than they ever have done in pretty much the history of Destiny. So the Masterwork system has not been added to the exotics yet, so it can leave them feeling a little bit lackluster in comparison to their legendary counterparts. So for example, if I'm going to be using, let's pick one at random here, the Hard Light, which is an exotic auto rifle, and if I was to compare that to maybe something like the Uriel's Gift, and I say I turn the Uriel's Gift into a Masterworks, the orb generation is definitely noticeable. For example, if I'm doing a Heroic Strike, on average, I can get about 4 or more supers per Heroic Strike when I'm using Masterwork weapons. So when I'm using an exotic that is not a Masterworks, I maybe get 2 supers, maybe at a push 3. So it's definitely noticeable. You're getting pretty much double the amount of supers just for using Masterwork weapons. So it is really noticeable in terms of gameplay. Now this isn't me saying Masterworks is bad, but more like Masterworks needs to be added to all of the exotics within the game. In Destiny 2, exotics are no longer hard to obtain. Most of them are pretty average in comparison to some of the Destiny 1 exotics. You can get the exotics in Destiny 2 from doing any activity. You can get an exotic engram to drop, pop it through your coins, you get even more, and then you go to equip them and just hope that you get an exotic that you don't currently own. So, excuse me, in comparison to Destiny 1, definitely not as hard to get. Now, I think Masterworks is a decent system, but the lack of actual diversity in perks and how many choices there are is pretty depressing to me. I hope Bungie do continue to build upon the system of Masterworks and add more interesting perks to our weapons. Maybe something like bonus damage to major enemies is one of the perks I thought about. Obviously, that you could even add and build onto that even more. Maybe if they do 2 Masterwork slots on weapons, so then you have even more perks to choose from. You can put even more perks in your weapons to make them feel even more better. Destiny 2 as a whole is missing the whole power fantasy, which I feel like a lot of people miss. I know I definitely really do as well, so that was just one of the perks I managed to think about, while making this video. Just off the top of my head right then, that was one perk I feel like would be pretty decent. That's me kind of obviously just thinking of a couple of things from the Division. They have bonus damage to elite enemies, is it? Or whatever it is in the Division, I can't remember off the top of my head, but maybe Destiny could do something similar to that in terms of obviously having it be on a weapon. Maybe they could even add it onto armor when Masterworks armor comes out in the future. So my hope for the future is, like I said, that Masterworks will be implemented to all exotics in the game. Now we already know Masterworks is being expanded to armor in the future update, but again, the lack of perk choice makes them a little bit boring, which I feel like a lot of people also feel like I do. Now from what we know so far, Masterwork armor is only going to give you extra damage resistance while in your super, and that's it. That's the only perk you get to choose from. So don't get me wrong, it's a nice benefit, but like I just said, it's just the lack of perks to choose from. They could do extra ability cooldowns, or being able to carry extra ammo for power weapons, or extra handling with certain weapons. I mean, there's so much possibility in terms of perks that you could come up with, especially in a game like Destiny. You know, bonus damage to Hive, bonus damage to Fallen, bonus damage to, you know, like, there's so many things they could do that I just feel like aren't being, grasped in Bungie's hands. Like, they're just not taking full advantage of the system. I feel like, and I've said this multiple times before, I just feel like Bungie is scared to introduce certain things because they're scared of something being maybe too strong or overpowered and people complaining about it, so then it has to be nerfed and brought down. I feel like that's just a constant chain, all the time in Destiny 2. I don't feel like it'll ever change, to be honest. I really want Bungie to sort of, I mean, I'd love Destiny 2 to just go full RPG. In all honesty, in terms of like perk stat rolls, having rolls randomly rolled on gear to, so you just always got something to grind for. One of the best games I can think of for this is Diablo 3, and how amazing, like absolutely amazing, the loot system is within that game. I've been playing a lot of Diablo 3 as of recent. Mainly because I've just been missing that chase for gear that Destiny 2 just hasn't got, really, in my honest opinion. I don't feel like Destiny 2 has ever satisfied me in terms of chasing that one weapon like I did in Destiny 1. In Destiny 1, this is the best way I can put it. Destiny 1 Year 1 had so many amazing weapons that I was willing to delete 2 characters every single week just so I could run the raid 2 extra times. So I could run the raid 5 times a week, basically. It was that ridiculous. But I was willing to do it because I wanted the Fatebringer, I wanted the Corrective Measure, I wanted the Haze and Vengeance, I wanted the chest piece for my Warlock. All this stuff I wanted. I feel like Destiny 2 is missing a lot of that sort of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I feel like it's a little bit ridiculous having to delete characters just so you can have an extra shot at it. But just to have that one weapon or that one, piece of armor that is so desirable to where you are willing to do something like that is something that I feel like Destiny 2 definitely does need. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make this video because I feel like I just wanted to bring light to the issue. I hope it doesn't obviously grow into something even worse and make exotics completely useless, because they already are pretty useless. I mean, I never use exotic kinetic or energy weapons. Maybe the Mida, the odd once or twice in PvP. Cold Heart maybe for Callus, and then that's it. I don't use exotics, over the Warcliff, and then honestly outside of that I can't really think of any that I would actually bother to use. So if you enjoyed, again, a like rating is greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching and taking your time out of your day to watch this video. Have an awesome rest of your day, guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace.